welcome! My name is Jasper, and today we are going to be talking about Hatchet. This is a slasher movie released to the masses in 2007, written and directed by Adam Green. It was conceptualized when Green was just a boy, and is made as an homage to slasher movies that dominated 80s horror. It was made on a $2.5 million budget and has become a well-respected series in the horror genre, spawning 3 sequels to date, as well as a comic book series. The film's cast has many well-known horror actors such as Robert Englund of the Nightmare on Elm Street series, Tony Todd of the Candyman series, and Kane Hodder of the Friday the 13th series. During the 2000s, slasher movies were primarily reserved for remakes of classic films such as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Rob Zombie's Halloween. Torture porn films had taken the mantle also, so Adam Green and his team set to make a film that goes back to its slasher roots, complete with its own iconic franchise character, buckets of blood, and plenty of scares. Without further ado, let's jump into the review. Hatchet starts off with a father and son who are hunting for gators. The only problem is that they're in a swamp that has been condemned due to strange disappearances. With the lack of hunters, the gators are numerous, so of course these idiots go there. After some good old verbal dad abuse, the two eventually get slaughtered, and I mean utterly decimated. After a nice opening credit sequence, no seriously, more filmmakers should be more creative for their opening credit scenes. We end up in New Orleans during Mardi Gras. We meet a group of guys, only 2 of which are important. These 2, Ben and Marcus. But hey look, it's Adam Green! Ben eventually convinces Marcus to leave all the free live porn in favor of possibly seeing some ghosts or gators on a swamp tour. Once on the scare bus, we meet the rest of the cast. You have the sweet old couple, the pervert film director and his Hollywood wannabes, the fake Asian tour guide, and the quiet mysterious loner girl. She is actually very important, so keep that in mind. Ben tries making small talk with the girl by complaining about his ex, and she's having none of it. The group eventually makes it to the scare boat, and we find out it's all a bunch of crap. The cute old couple knows more about the place than the tour guide.
Hell, man, why'd you not come then? The ghosts!
Honestly, I have to agree with him. After some time, the boat stalls out right as the storm comes in, because this is a horror movie. And because this is a horror movie, the boat starts to sink. The group panics as they remember there's gators in the water and eventually make it to the shore. Not before Papa Bear gets his leg ripped off though. Yeah, he's pretty fucked from here on out. Everyone starts walking through the swamp until some strange noises start happening. Our mysterious girl, Mary Beth, finally gets her time to shine as she tells the story of the monster in the woods. A deformed boy named Victor Crowley, who was tragically killed by his father while he was trying to save him from a house fire, now haunts Honey Island Swamp looking for his dad. But he also murders everyone. Mary Beth is there to look for her father and brother, you know, those 2 guys killed in the beginning. Great, moving on. The group ends up stumbling across the old Crowley house, and despite Mary Beth's warnings to stay away, Mama Bear is adamant about getting Papa Bear treatment for his leg. She heads off towards the house only for the man himself to appear. Victor Crowley. Papa Bear gets brutally murdered, but his wife gets probably one of my favorite death scenes of all time. He literally rips her face in half. The rest of the group scatters off like the slashers it homages. They all get picked off one by one. By the end of the movie, Ben and Mary Beth are the last survivors. They attempt to kill Crowley multiple times. First they try to set him on fire, but Mother Nature was like, I don't think so.
You gotta be fucking kidding me!
Then Ben stabs him with a spear that is also sticking out from his own foot. It seems like Crowley is dead, so the 2 set out on a canoe Friday the 13th style. In the biggest twist of the century, the monster is still alive. Ben gets killed and Mary Beth is left in the middle of her escape before the screen cuts to black. I gotta say, Adam Green did a great job with this movie. While there have been other slasher movies in the past that have tried to create their own foothold in the genre, none have done it quite like Hatchet. The characters are likable and the people playing them can actually act. I love the return of more practical effects, which adds to the scares, but also the overall over-the-top feeling this movie has. Not only has it become Hatchet's signature thing to be over the top with its kills, it even helps with the humor of the film. As weird as it might be to say about a horror film, Hatchet is honestly a pretty funny movie, and that's not a criticism. The jokes aren't super cheesy or awkwardly delivered. The character Marcus is probably the biggest contributing factor for the humor actually working, and his back and forths with Ben really give the 2 chemistry with each other. Mary Beth, while being cast as the broody survivor girl, really does come into her own. There's never a moment where I feel like she's being overdramatic or overly trying to sell the role. Her emotions are raw and pulls you right in. The scene where she finds her dead brother and father, you honestly feel bad for her. The creative decision to have the camera just hold on her reaction was probably one of the best choices of the film. It makes you uncomfortable not to cut away, and I love that because a situation like this is uncomfortable and tragic. It just goes to show that a slasher movie can be scary, funny, over the top, and heartfelt all at once and still work. I'd give Hatchet a solid 4 out of 5. If more horror movies were made with this much love, the world would be better off. But before you go, remember, stay